Hello, everyone. You're welcome to solve this nice trigonometric math problem, which is 81 to the power of sine squared x plus 81 to the power of cos squared x. This is equal to 30. So what are the values of x? Given that x ranges from 0 to 360 degrees. So let's provide a solution from here. Now, we can express 81 raised to the power of sine squared x as 3 to the power of 4 raised to the power of sine squared x, then plus we can express 81 to the power of cos squared x as 3 to the power of 4 raised to the power of cos squared x. This is equal to 30. Now 3 to the power of 4 raised to the power of sine squared x and 3 to the power of 4 raised to the power of cos squared x. This is in the form of a to the power of n raised to the power of m, which we can express as a to the power of n times m. Applying this exponent property, then we have 3 raised to the power of 4 sine squared x, then plus 3 raised to the power of 4 cos squared x. This is equal to 30. Now, the next step from here, from the trigonometric identity, that is sine squared x plus cos squared x, this is equal to 1. Let's make cos squared x to be the substitute of the formula so that we have cos squared x. This is equal to 1 minus sine squared x. Let's substitute cos squared x with 1 minus sine squared x. So this means we have 3 raised to the power of 4 sine squared x, then plus 3 raised to the power of 4 multiplied by 1 minus sine squared x, cross the parentheses. This is equal to 30. The next step is to open the parentheses here so that we have 3 to the power of 4 sine squared x, then plus 3 raised to the power of 4 times 1, this is 4, minus 4 times sine squared x, this is 4 sine squared x, and this is equal to 30. Now, the next step from here, 3 to the power of 4 minus 4 sine squared x, this is in the form of a to the power of n minus m, which we can express as a to the power of n divided by a to the power of m. Applying this exponent property, then we have 3 to the power of 4 sine squared x, then plus, this is 3 to the power of 4 divided by 3 to the power of 4 sine squared x. This is equal to 30. Now, since we have 3 to the power of 4 sine squared x and 3 to the power of 4 sine squared x here, we can let 3 to the power of 4 sine squared x be equal to k. So let's substitute k in this equation here. We have k plus 3 to the power of 4, this is 81, so we have 81 over k, this is equal to 30. Now, k is our whole number, so this is over 1, and that is our whole number, so this is over 1. The LCM is k, so let's multiply everything by k, so that we have k to the power of 2, then plus. Now, here we have 81, this is equal to 30k. The next step is to take 30k on the left hand side so that we have k squared minus 30k plus 81. This is equal to 0. Now, this is a quadratic equation. We can solve this quadratic equation by factorization method. We have k to the power of 2 minus 27k minus 3k plus 81. This is equal to 0. Now, this means we have got two parts here. In the first part here, k is common. We can factor out k. into the parentheses, this is k minus 27, subtract. Now we have 3k plus 81. 3 is common here, so we can factor out 3. Then we have 3k divided by minus 3k, so we have k here. Then minus 27, this is equal to 0. So we have that k minus 27 is common here, so this is k minus 27. And then we have k subtract 3, this is equal to 0. Now we have got two parts here, or two cases here. We have k minus 27, this is equal to 0. And we have case 2, k minus 3, this is equal to 0. So we have k minus 27, this is equal to 0. So this means that k1 is equal to 27. And here we have k2, this is equal to 3. Now, if you recall, we have seen that we let 3 to the power of 4 sine squared x be equal to k. So let's start with case 1, where k1 is equal to 27. So we have 3 raised to the power of 4 sine squared x, this is equal to 27. So this is 3 raised to the power of 4 sine squared x, this is equal to 27, which is 3 to the power of 3. We have the bases are common here, that is to mean that a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m. Since the bases are common, exponent n should be equal to m. Applying this property, then we have 4 sine squared x, this is equal to 3. So let's divide both signs by 4. And this means that we have sine squared x, this is equal to 3 over 4. To solve for sine x here, let's introduce a square root of both sides. We have a square root of sine squared x, this is equal to plus or minus square root of 3 over 4. Now let's eliminate the square root sign here. So we have sine x, this is equal to plus or minus square root of 3 over square root of 4, which is 2. So we have got two values of sine. We have sine x is equal to square root of 3 over 2. And we have sine x is equal to negative square root of 3 over 2. Now we have sine x is equal to square root of 3 over 2, and sine x is minus square root of 3 over 2. So let's have a graphical representation of this. Let's have x and y plane. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Now we have got 4 quadrants here. We have got 4 quadrants. Now here we have 1, 0. Here we have negative 1, 0. Then here we have 0, 1. Then here we have negative 1, 0. So here you have the coordinate of 0. This is the value of x and y, 1. This is the first quadrant here. This is the second quadrant. This is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. We have that sine. If you say sine x, this is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So here we have our opposite here. This is square root of 3 over 2. So we have root 3 over 2. And we have hypotenuse is 1. Now, in this case, we have an angle of 60 degrees. We have an angle of 60 degrees. And from here, we also have another angle here. That is angles in a straight line and up to 180 degrees. 180 degrees minus 60 degrees. This is equal to 120 degrees. So here we have 120 degrees here. And this means that sine x equal to root 3 over 2, we have that x is equal to 60 degrees and 120 degrees. Angles that are above the plane here, these are positive angles, and angles that are below the x-axis here, these are negative angles here. Now we have sine x is minus square root of 3 over 2. So we have an angle here, and this is 180 plus 60. So we have 180 plus 60 degrees, and this is equal to 240 degrees. So we have sine x equal to negative root 3 over 2. We'll have the angles of x, or the values of x, as 240 degrees. And then we have also another angle here in the fourth quadrant. Now from 0 to this quadrant here, we have 360 degrees, 360 degrees minus 60 degrees. So this is 300 degrees. So we have another angle here, which is 300 degrees. So this means that the values of x here, we have 60 degrees, 120 degrees, we have 240 degrees, and then we have 300 degrees. This is for all values from sine x equal to plus or minus root 3 over 2. So these are the angles or the values of x. Remember, we had that x ranges from 0 to 360 degrees, and these are the angles in case 1. Let's proceed to case 2. In case 2 here, we have that k is equal to 3. And if you recall, we said that we let 3 to the power of 4 sine squared x be equal to k. So we have 3 raised to the power of 4 sine squared x. This is equal to 3. 3 is raised to the power of 1. And since the bases are common here, then we have 4 sine squared x. This is equal to 1. Let's divide both signs by 4. And this means that sine squared x, this is equal to 1 over 4. To solve for sine x, let's introduce a square root on both sides. We have a square root of sine squared x. This is equal to plus or minus a square root of 1 over 4. Now, let's eliminate the square root sign here. We have sine x. This is equal to plus or minus 1 over 2. Now, we have that sine x, this is equal to a half, or we have sine x, this is equal to negative a half. Now, the next step is, let's have a graphical representation of xy plane from here. Now, let's have a graphical representation here. So we have, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. So from here, so this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third, and this is the fourth. Now, something to note here, we have that sine x, this is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So we have that the opposite is a half, hypotenuse is 1. So we have an angle of 30 degrees from here. We have an angle of 30 degrees. And remember, angles in a straight line, they end up to 180 degrees. So we have 180 minus 30. This means we have an angle of 150 degrees. So we have 150 degrees here. So we have that for sine x equal to a half, we have the values of x as 30 degrees and 150 degrees. Remember, all the angles above the xy plane, these are positive angles here. So that is why we have sine x equal to half. We have 30 degrees and 150. Now let's proceed to the third quadrant here. So we have 180 degrees plus 30, and this is 210 degrees. So we have sine x equal to negative a half. This implies that x is equal to 210 degrees. Now let's move to the fourth quadrant here. We have 360 degrees minus 30 degrees. This means we have 330 degrees. So this is 330 degrees. And this implies that the other angle here is 3 and 330 degrees. So this means that for sine x equal to plus or minus a half, we have the values of x, or the angles for x, as 30 degrees, 150 degrees, 210 degrees, and 330 degrees. So these are the solution to this trigonometric problem.